Okay, in this lesson, we're going to talk about utility expenses. So when you own a home or reside in an apartment or a condo, you're going to have utility expenses. You're going to be charged for electricity, maybe gas, heating, water. These are the things that you're going to have to pay for every month. Electricity is the biggest one. Electricity, you're not going to know the exact amount of electricity you're going to use. So every month they get an employee to come out and they read a meter that's attached to your house that shows how much electricity you have used. Electricity is measured in watts. Okay, the amount of electricity is measured in watt hours. Okay, for example, a 60-watt light bulb burning for 2 hours uses 120 watt hours. A kilowatt hour is equivalent to 1,000 watt hours of electrical use. Gas and water are also utilities that you're going to be paying for, and they are measured by the cubic foot. It represents the amount of space the gas or water occupies, not the weight. Let's look at a couple of, first an easy one. Tom's October water bill was listed. His bill listed 2 meter readings. The previous reading was 3128 cubic feet, and the present reading is 3141 cubic feet. So how much water did he use? You just subtract the two numbers and you get 13. That's pretty easy. Let's talk about reading these electrical meters. Okay, Janet works for a utility company, is reading the Savitz Household's electric meter. What is the reading? So notice where the arrow points on each dial. The correct reading for each dial is going to be the lower of the two numbers, always, except if the arrow points between 0 and 9, and then that is read as a 9. So if you go to your home and you go out and look at the meter and you want to read it, you can find the meter reading. So if we wanted to read what this meter says, this one is between 0 and 1, and remember, it's the smallest number unless you're between 0 and 9. So this meter reading would be read as 0. This is between 0 and 9, and it's always the smaller one unless it's between 0 and 9, and then it's read as 9. So that's read as 9. This would be read as 5. It's between 5 and 6, so the lower of the two numbers. This would be read as 5, and this would be read as 1. So 09551, which means that the meter shows a reading of 9,551 kilowatt hours of electricity. What about this one? This would be between 3 and 4, so that's 3. That would be 3. This is between 5 and 6, so that would be 5. This is between 0 and 9, so it's always the smaller unless it's specifically 0 and 9, and then we use the 9. So 3,359 kilowatt hours. All right, let's look at another one here. So this one's going to be a rather long one. So follow along. A certain electric mixer requires 125 watts. That's what it requires in electricity to use. How much would it cost to run the mixer for a total of 90 minutes at a cost of 10 cents per kilowatt hour? Well, first let's figure out how long we're going to be using it. We're going to convert that 90 minutes to hours. That would be 1.5 hours or 1.5 hours. I'm sure we all know that. So 90 minutes is 1.5 hours. So how much watts are we going to use? It uses 125 watts times an hour and a half would be 187.5 watt hours. Electric usage is billed by the kilowatt hour, which is 1,000 watt hours. So we're simply going to take this number and divide by 1,000 to get the kilowatt hours. So 187.5 divided by 1,000, you just move the decimal place 3 places, and you get 0.1875 kilowatt hours. Now to actually find the cost, it's 10 cents per kilowatt hour. That's why we had to convert it to kilowatt hours. So we're just going to take this number and multiply it times 10 cents, and you're going to get 0.01875, which means the mixer would cost this much to run for 90 minutes. If you move the decimal place, that's 1.9 cents, which means it's somewhere between 1 cent and 2 cents. 1.9 cents is between 1 and 2 cents. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. Depending on the climate, utility usage can vary according to the season. Electric bills are going to be much higher in the summer due to air conditioning, and gas and oil usage can be higher in the winter due to the heating needs. For this reason, some utility companies has offered what they call balanced billing. This evens out the monthly cost of utilities to make the homeowner's payments predictable. Last year, the Ross family spent $3,336 for electricity. They are opting to use balanced billing for next year. What will their monthly payment be? Balanced billing simply means you're going to pay not what electricity you actually used, but what electricity you use on average. So if they used this much for the year, to find that average, you would divide by 12 months. So they used on average $278, or that would have been their bill on average per month. So that's how the balanced billing works. They just pay an average. Energy savings often pay for themselves. This means that the savings in energy usage can equal or offset the cost of the item after a certain number of years. The Thompsons' old water heater cost them $455 per year to run. The new one they purchased for $1,240 will save them 31% annually in energy costs to run it. And how many years will it pay for itself? So it's going to be 31% cheaper. So 31% of $455 would be $141.05. Okay, that's their savings per year, per month. Yeah, per year. So we're going to divide the cost of that appliance, $1,240, divided by that would be 8.791. So this is in years. So the water heater in almost 9 years is going to pay for itself. So anything over 9 years, then the homeowner is going to recognize that savings. So it'll pay for itself in about 9 years. All right, that's utility expenses.